Hello, and welcome to edition 2 of Kinder Mondays with Kinder Mind Hypnosis. I'm Todd Simon, certified hypnotherapist at kindermindhypnosis.com. Thank you for all of your suggestions, questions, and comments after the first edition. I totally appreciate it. Keep them coming. Our question for this week is, I'm terrified of blood, and even the thought of giving blood at the doctor's office scares me. Can hypnosis help? The answer is a resounding yes. Yes, 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 with a little heaping of more yes. Hypnotherapy and hypnosis is amazing to help relieve fears and phobias. So let me first explain the difference between a fear and a phobia. People confuse them often. A fear is an anxiety reaction due to something that actually has a genesis, that is, a direct experience with something that's created that anxiety and that fear. A phobia doesn't have necessarily a genesis, doesn't have a direct experience that you can remember and say, yes, that's when it started, but you still have a fear about it. It's called a phobia because there is no direct experience genesis of it. For this particular question, we're going to deal with a fear. The treatment is pretty similar. I'll explain in another session the differences, but right now we're going to deal with the fear of needles and blood and all that kind of thing. So I think a lot of people actually have that. So first, what we do in the cognitive portion of the session, and that is the part that we're actually just talking, you're not under hypnosis, is I would get in as much detail as possible that experience you had. How old were you? What was the day like? What were you wearing? Who were you with? The smells, the sights, the sounds, the tastes, everything viscerally about that experience. And the reason you'll see later is we're going to use all those really fine details in order to create something different in your mind. So I would get all of that, understand the genesis of it, how long you've had it, sort of what the anxiety creates, what it looks like for you. And then under hypnosis, there's two things I would do. There's something that I call re-imaging, and then another thing called desensitization, systematic desensitization. So for the first part, and this is why I got all the details, is I'd have you imagine yourself being in the back of a movie theater, that you're by yourself in the movie theater with just the projector. And now the projector is showing a movie on the screen, and you're going to now be the director of every detail of the movie. And that movie is now going to be that first experience you had when you became anxious and fearful of giving blood. So let's say in this example, the genesis of it was there's a girl, she was 8 years old, she went to give blood at the doctor's office with her mom, she was there for her yearly physical. The nurse missed the vein, it hurt, she turned the vein, it started bleeding, she saw her mom's expression, her mom started panicking, she started panicking, she started crying, it hurt, and that was it. She's been fearful of needles, the doctors, and everything ever since. So what we do is we go back. We're going to go back to that experience. We're playing the movie on the screen, you're sitting in the back of the theater, and now you are directing the movie, and you are making it the way you wanted it to be. You walk into the doctor's office. What are you seeing on the screen? It might be, I'm wearing my favorite shoes, my favorite shirt, I'm holding my mom's hand. She has a snack for me, my favorite snack that I know I'm going to eat right afterwards. The smell of the office is my favorite, say it's jasmine. The nurse has a beautiful smile, is wearing a shirt that I love as well. The colors of the walls are yellow, it's my favorite color. I sit down, she gives me a squeeze toy. It's a dinosaur, and I love dinosaurs, so I happily grab the squeeze toy to make my vein bigger, looking at the dinosaur squeezing, and I turn my head to look at the clock on the wall. All of a sudden, I realize there's a needle in my arm. It feels fine. I'm looking at my mom. She's smiling at me. I'm smelling these things. The next thing I know, I'm holding a cotton ball, and this is the movie that now she's seeing on the screen. Holding the cotton ball, she's asking me, the nurse is, what my favorite color or character is. I say, Batgirl. She gives me a Batgirl Band-Aid. I put it on my arm. I walk out of the office. I feel great. My mom's holding my hand. She gives me my favorite snack. So what we've done is we re-image that horrible story that you once had in your head and sort of began to break down all of your memories of it in your body and in your brain. What we do from there now is do systematic desensitization. You're under hypnosis. I go back and I bring up that first experience. You're in the doctor's office, and they say, we need to take blood. I continue talking and I say, now raise your left index finger when you begin to feel anxiety. So I talk through it. Let's say I walk into the office and boom, the finger goes up. As soon as the finger goes up, I know they're feeling a little anxiety. Take 3 deep calming breaths. Allow your body to relax. I would do some relaxation until that finger came down. Start back at the beginning. You make the appointment at the doctor's office. You walk into the doctor's office. They say we need to take blood. The finger goes up. So we continue that. As soon as the finger goes up or they're feeling a little anxiety, we desensitize that by adding some relaxation, some breathing, some other images that are kinder in the mind, until we get to a point where I could talk about going to the doctor's office, giving the blood, and the finger never raises. So now we have changed and switched the association this person had with needles, with doctors, and blood, where their body is now in a state of calmness, peace, tranquility, and maybe even joy. So now that going to the doctor's office, giving blood, even the thought of it, has no effect on their body. It works. Fears, phobias, amazing for hypnosis, and it's beyond just these kind of things where I'm afraid of a needle. It could be, I had a bad relationship. I'm afraid to get back into a relationship. I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. We could work with those feelings. It could be anything. It could be money. I'm afraid of making money, and I could go back and maybe even find out that when they were 10, their parents were arguing about money, and it was their birthday, and they didn't have enough money to give them what they wanted. And now they're fearful of money in general because they think money creates conflict. And so I don't want that, so I'm just going to avoid money. That's simply an association they've made with money and conflict. And maybe even they lumped it in with their birthday. So now they don't even want to celebrate their birthday. In fact, when their birthday comes, they get anxious. Hypnotherapy, hypnosis, amazing for fears and phobias. I hope that's helped. If you have any more questions, comments, suggestions, please, down there in that box that says comment, reply. You see it down right here, right here? Please feel free to ask, or you can go to the website, kindermindhypnosis.com. Thank you, and I wish you peace.